And in meantime, let's go have a sneak peek of what Steve is doing, which in all of this mess, making a mess. In my understanding, this guy is trying to make anti-lag working with all the standard bits.
Seems to work.
From just a normal Volvo saloon car, like a family car. They seem to have really high spec engine, or really high developed engine, with the parts ready to be working with the anti-lag. Is that correct?
Kind of, but by accident.
Hold on, let me just get this right. So you say the Volvo accidentally almost fitted the anti-lag system on these engines?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
Basically, the anti-lag, like a lot of old rally cars use these days, is where the air goes directly into the exhaust manifold through a valve, which is like an EGR valve, and they used to call that EGR anti-lag, and it's like EGR but backwards. So rather than the exhaust gas going out the exhaust manifold back into the inlet, it's feeding it the other way round to and you mix that with fuel, in the manifold, and boom, anti-lag. There's more to it than that. You have to mess with the ignition timing, add the fuel, and so on. But I found...
But you were saying they actually made something so you can... There's a switch or something like that, you say, that you can actually retard the ignition,
yes,
right?
I looked into the wiring loom, and I've realised a way of... By messing with pins on the ECU, there is a way of adding loads of fuel, which is obviously what you need, and retarding the ignition. It's going to be like 16 degrees retarded from what it would normally be, and only off throttle. So it's not like I'm going to have to be worrying about it. It will drive normally when I want it to, and only off throttle. The anti-lag's activated, so it should work really well. So far, it does massive bangs and flames and looks insane. I've not got a chance to test all of this yet because I'm still doing it, as you can see. But I'm pretty hopeful because it's got all the ingredients that it will work as proper rally anti-lag. It certainly looks and sounds it at the moment with all the 6 foot flames and whatever as soon as you let off the throttle. But yeah, we're getting there. Luckily, I've had proper anti-lag, as in on a decent ECU on cars in the past, so I kind of know how it works. So I'm just adapting this ancient 80s piece of crap ECU.
But this is what I'm saying. Usually on the modern cars or newest cars, the anti-lag system is much more complicated to get it fitted. And on these cars, which is crazy thinking that it's just a family car, and back in the days, it's already almost there.
Yeah.
So once you saw that everything now is actually a fairly easy system to...
Yeah, it is very. It's actually, the fact it's so basic is why it's easy to trick to be able to do it. Because, for example, on most cars, when you let off the throttle, the fueling cuts off. You've got overrun fuel
exactly,
on
yes.
all cars. There's no easy way to fix that on a modern car to turn it off without going in the ECU and reprogramming it to turn it off. On this, because it's not even a throttle position sensor, it's a throttle switch. So all it knows is idle and not idle. So all you have to do is to add fuel, on the overrun, is just deactivate that, and you've got fuel again. Simple. So all I've done is it's now so now when it senses it, when you switch it off, it acts no differently on throttle, because it wouldn't anyway, because it's only a bloody switch. But with it deactivated off throttle, you've still got the fuel. Yeah. If you tried that with a modern throttle sensor,
no chance.
You've got no chance, because it needs that for the rest of the throttle.
Exactly.
This hasn't got one. It's that basic that it doesn't matter. All it needs to know is if it's idle or not, and it just cut the fuel. And all you do is switch it off, and it doesn't. So that's on a switch.
Yeah.
The anti-lag valve is vacuum operated, and that's on a switch operated by inlet manifold vacuum and a 3-port like boost solenoid from a Volkswagen of some description. Like I said, the ignition retard is off these micro switches, activated and deactivated by the throttle.
These ones you just put them on?
I literally just put them on. I've made a quick bracket out of a spare one of them, and extended that slightly, and now so that's idle and that's off idle basically, and that is what's going to activate the ignition retard and whatever, so it'll only happen off throttle. I'm just going to plumb in now a slight air bypass from the throttle to the inlet. It might not even need it, but I think it might, going by my testing.
It will help from what you're saying.
Yeah, it's going to help. I didn't want to do it and then it not decelerate, but I've realised if I could do a tiny bit, it seems to make a massive difference. So anything the better. And again, even with the EGR thing, I'm using the standard EGR port on the exhaust manifold. So it's not got a modified exhaust manifold specially for anti-lag. It's using the standard EGR parts, which in effect is how the anti-lag works but backwards, so it's no different. So yeah, I'm only doing it for fun. I mean, I'm not, you know, but yeah, this is literally costing no money, just a bit of thought. And
this is crazy easy.
Because I mean, like, you know, that valve is it's a fresh air valve, air pump valve from a Mazda RX-8, and it does on a Mazda RX-8. It lets the air into the exhaust manifold to heat up the cats quicker.
Okay.
But it's got a really good one-way valve in it. It flows massively. It's got all the parts that can take the heat. So it's basically a really good anti-lag valve, better than a lot of actual anti-lag valves. Yeah. But it's just a part of a Mazda RX-8 that they'll throw away because obviously, you know, it's only for emissions.
This is actually what we used to do with the Evo anti-lag valves. People used to throw them away, and it actually can be used. People don't actually know what they are.
Yeah, so I'm just reusing that. And I think that cost me like £5 because nobody wants them. So,
but that's another example that shows you that budget is not really a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
Most of the times, probably yes, if you don't know what you're doing. But if you know what you're doing, you can actually recycle stuff that people throw away and actually making like really good, awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Like this example.
This whole car is recycled.
Exactly.
It's just stuff I've got lying around. I could make it way bigger spec, but this kind of the spec it is from what I've got kicking around. It's like, so, you know, even this pipe work is mostly the RX-8 standard pipe work. I've cut and welded to the right shape, and a couple of fittings which I had spare. Between
me and you, I probably do the same. It's just like the same boost pipe I've been using for the last 10-15 years, just swapping the cars. And
yeah, they've been on countless different cars. I could probably point out stuff that's been around for decades that I remember off other cars. Yeah, I mean, like that T-piece there, I think I've had that for about 20 years, honestly. It's like an old dump valve T-piece. I just reuse everything. That air filter's been on about 4 cars, but yeah, that's part of the fun. It's making cars fast or fun or whatever
that's the best way to do it.
It's bang for your buck, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it's going to cost you a fortune, you might as well just buy a bloody supercar.
Exactly. And this is on its own is already crazy, but then the craziest part is that this engine is actually not going to stay in this car.
No.
And that's the craziest part.
Do we talk about that?
Because we had recently, we was trying to sell one of the cars I had, and I wanted to do something crazy about it, but I never find time because obviously too many projects all around it. All my stuff is almost finished, but not quite. And then you'll find out how clean it was, which you couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. That's why I want to keep it. And you snapped it for a few quid, really, which is good. And should we show them?
Yeah,
what the car is going to?
Yeah, go on.
You're not gonna believe what this engine is going to.
Have you shown them your car?
No, my car is a kind of a secret yet.
Oh,
no one knows where this goes. I don't want to show it yet because people are gonna hate me by knowing what engine is going into. Because your car is gonna be crazy, but people are actually expecting from you what you're doing into this car.
Yeah, people kind of already guessed. Is it? An MX-5.
An MX-5, which is extremely clean. Not outside. Outside looks really tatty. But and then the chassis rails, and then the seals. It was very minimal rust, was it?
It's very clean for one of these. They're normally knackered by now.
Exactly, it's very rare. So this is a really good example of MX-5, which looks tatty outside, but is really good project. And to be honest, people from you are expecting something like this.
Yeah.
Because that engine is gonna be what? 450 brakes?
I reckon 400's a fair bet, but it's gonna be light as well.
Exactly. But you're trying to do a different kind of 400 brake horsepower, because usually 400 brake horsepower from a 2-liter petrol engine 4-cylinder I'm not saying they're massively laggy, but they're quite laggy.
Yeah.
Right? Usually.
Pretty,
What you're
not
trying to
loads of torque.
achieve is kind of like a rallycross style.
Yeah, I want a rallycross style car, so it's going to be minimum, like practically no lag, and just ridiculous amounts of torque. So a fairly small turbo running,
Exactly.
2 bar plus boost.
So you got over 2 bar barrel boost, instant torque, instant response, 400 brakes, torque. I don't even want to ask. It's going to
At
be
least
close to
400,
diesel
yeah.
torque.
Yeah. At least the same as power.
In a car that's going to weight, because you know you have experience with this already. How low you can go with the weight?
Depends how extreme I go, but I mean they're
Well,
pretty
well,
much under a ton anyway. But see,
Judging for what you've done from the Volvo, with the Volvo,
that's the thing. This could be in the 800 odds, isn't it, I guess.
You
I don't know
think?
about maybe. I mean they're less than 1,000 standard.
Well, if you go sub 900, that's
Even sub 900 is absolutely fine by me. You know,
If you get-
even
if you-
sub 950. Would
so.
be
Let's say, example, you go crazy, you get crazy on it, and we tube the front, we tube the back, you remove the boot, you remove all the panels that's not have to be because
I
obviously.
wouldn't think they're going that crazy, but
No, I think we will.
Yeah,
I think we will
probably, yeah.
because between me and him, it's like
Yeah.
he will not stop me. I will not stop him. I
We're
actually
bad
push him to
influence
do
on
it.
each other.
Exactly, really bad influence. So I think this is gonna go crazy. So you think we can get down to 800? Is it possible?
if I remember right, like the autocross cars in America, they've gone way below that. So,
Below 800?
Yeah, but
On
obviously
MS5?
they don't have to be road legal.
No.
So what we can do while keeping it road legal and not looking like a skeleton
no. Okay.
is different. I don't know.
So maybe, let's say maybe 800, but you're gonna have at least 400 brakes,
what I
maybe
mean.
450. That's crazy numbers.
Crazy numbers. Isn't it? I think it's 400 and like 800. I think 400 and 800 works out to be like 550 bhp per ton or something stupid like that. If you do the maths, I can't remember off the top of my head. But
I think this is gonna be.
I
I
just
would
want-
say crazy, but I think it's gonna be from crazy going to nearly stupid.
yeah, I don't. That's the thing. I'm not. The Corolla is my car for stupid,
Yes.
pure straight line acceleration. I just want something that's like just
This is
shit your pants scary.
pure
you
fun.
Know, pure fun, not like beating any records. I just want some. That's why I want it like a zero lag, crazy torque thing. I want something that's just an absolute fucking scare people.
And I
really.
think this
scare
one.
myself.
And I think this one you're gonna keep it.
Oh yeah. Well, I had the previous one, so a completely stripped MX-5 with a 2-litre Cosworth turbo engine, and that was less than 300 horsepower, and that was but completely stripped, and that was, I've had, cars with 500 plus horsepower, but that was 10 times more fun and felt 10 times faster. It's just an animal because they're so nimble. They handle fucking amazing.
Really good, yes.
So with a bit of power, it's just ridiculous. So
Bit of
this with
This is gonna be pretty much almost twice the power. If you calc obviously the torque,
oh yeah. I mean,
then
that's the thing. I just want it. I want to recreate my old one just a bit better because I know I've learned from my old one.
but obviously the old one you're great at selling this.
Massively.
Selling it. Now this one because it's such a good car, good base because there's no rust, and it's gonna be even more difficult to find
It'd
with
be
no
a
rust.
keeper, yeah.
This is like you finish it. Finish it. They never finish really because I bet you this is gonna be crazy. So you're not gonna do drag strips or anything because obviously the diff and all the stuff over 100 brakes. But once you achieve what you want, I bet you won't stop.
I never stop.
Exactly.
I never stop.
So,
The only time it stop is because I got to stop to carry on finishing all my other stupid things. I've done.
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, because I'm not going to spend a fortune on it, and it's never going to be worth a fortune because
Exactly.
people would be upset because the engine for a start. It's a keeper. It's just something to always be fun because something like that's never going to be not scary.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's a car to.
And another thing on this one, once you finish, this is we're talking time. Maybe end of this year, maybe next year.
Oh no! What
Fuck
have you got in
knows.
mind? Yeah, go on.
We may, well, maybe no point because if you achieve to make that anti-lag work as it is, maybe if the plenum is actually as good as you find out, maybe there's no need. But what I was hoping for is to build a nice exhaust manifold for it, twin screw probably, which helps you obviously with the spool, turbo system. Test the difference.
I think we should do back-to-back tests on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every single
Yeah,
piece. We build exhaust manifold and we see the difference just with the exhaust manifold, nothing else changed. And then we build equal flow plenum and see what difference that's gonna make on the road, drivability and the dyno because they're two different things. Because people get excited about numbers on the dyno, but sometimes it's
Yeah, there's more to it than that.
Exactly, exactly. And then a proper rally style
Yeah.
anti-lag, scary one. Like,
yeah, because you know you've got this. We'll do it with the standard parts because they're pretty capable by the looks of it.
Exactly.
And then we know the limit of them, and then.
Well, if you find out this, I mean, this is crazy. From the Volvo parts, standard parts, you can activate the anti-lag, electronically wise and mechanically wise. That's crazy. It's obviously worth trying to achieve that, because that's that is crazy.
The standard manifolds I found out the other week are the Evolution Group A touring car versions. So they are not shit manifolds.
In a saloon car, in a family car. Yeah. Who would say that?
And nobody's even realised that. Otherwise, they'd probably be worth more money. But
are they gonna be now?
But your ones, I mean, look what happened with my Skyline.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
the difference it made from a manifold that could do that power easily to a manifold that you made. It was the same. It was not the power. It was how it drove, the lag, the drivability. It was ridiculous.
And no one only not imagined that. Everyone used to be very skeptical about it. Not saying more than that, because we don't want to go that far, but everyone was saying no, and it actually make a huge difference.
Proved it massively wrong. It was the one single biggest difference.
And then we repeat the experiment to all the cars as well.
You've done
on that M3.
The M3 is a great example.
Exactly, it was a great example.
So that's what I think it'd do. I mean, I could probably get say 400 on these manifolds, but you guaranteed a bit like with the M3 where you already had that power. The before and after dyno graphs will be night and day. Between the stock manifolds and good ones.
Because actually we're actually not trying to achieve any more power. What we're trying to achieve is the engine efficiency. Because once you increase the engine efficiency, the power rises just as a consequence. You can push it more. You can give it more boost if you want, and the engine was actually safer and cooler, and what we've seen on your Skyline.
It's trying less hard. You know what I mean? With the Skyline, I mean, everyone always.
Let me change my hand because it's fucking sore now.
I mean, with the Skyline, everyone worries about, you know, debt on pump fuel and whatever, so that's where they're limited with boost. As soon as your inlet manifold went on, he couldn't make it debt even at like 2 bar because the flow was so equal. It was so much safer.
I remember, was a phone call 2 or 3 o'clock at night? It was.
Yeah, he was like, that basically the only thing that limited it because my standard coil packs couldn't take anymore. But even at 2 bar boost, and I was driving it then because we did a road test in it. He's like, I really want to do it as long as we can make it not misfire. But even it was still misfiring then. But we was over 2 bar boost, no debt, no nothing. He's like, it's fine, but it's the coils can't take it.
Exactly.
But that's crazy on pump fuel for a fairly high compression Skyline engine. No one else seems to keep him alive at like nowhere near that boost.
And the engine still is going around.
Yeah, still. Years later.
There was actually a couple of people actually calling me. It's like, I've seen that Skyline, you go for Stavros, and can you like that plan for me as well? I
still get questions about it now. I wish I had more of those turbos because I ain't joking. The amount of people who's asked me, I want one of those turbos you had. It's like.
I bet you saw that car too cheap, way too cheap.
Massively. The geese it was quite good money at the time. It was quite high money at the time, but he literally just gave me full asking price. He realised how bloody good it was compared to most of the other.
It was definitely worth every single penny.
But now the prices have gone insane. So if I'd have waited maybe 6 months a year, it'd probably been twice that price. But that's cars, isn't it? You know?
To be honest, that's what we do. You build something, you finish at the end, and you just. It seems like, I'm not sure about you, but I seem to enjoy probably more building stuff than actually drive it. Once you achieve the perfection, it's like, well, what else can I do to it? Nothing, and start it over again. Is it?
Kind of, in me. I think it is. I like something, and then I get fucking carried away, and that's when it comes off the road again to do more and more. I love driving it, but I've always got more and more ideas. It just stuck in my head constantly what I want to do. And that's so things escalate wildly, but that's kind of why I want to do this, because
this is going to be good.
The one thing I've experienced in my life is when you get beyond a certain amount of power to control, you don't want to make it faster because it's so fucking stupid.
You can't use it.
And that's what happened. You know, when I drove that Dragon RX-7, it was 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 kilo, 9-second, 160 mile an hour drag
probably
car.
Beyond enjoyment.
But it was. I could never use all that power, so I could never get bored of it. It was amazing to drive. It's not no fun because of it, but there's no way I could ever use all that power. You couldn't see fast enough. It's like playing a computer game where you got a slow computer and it, you know, blocking,
Keep
jerking.
accelerating more
Yeah,
and
your
more.
eyes didn't seem to work as fast as acceleration. So it's like things seem to move towards you in lumps, and it's like, this is fucking stupid. It's absolutely insane. And that's what I want, a death trap, because you can't get bored of a death trap because you can't use it fully.
And this
so
is
that's what this is.
This is going to be that death trap.
Yeah, death trap. Basically.
Death trap.
Yeah.
So
It's going to have a cage. It's not really going to kill me, but it needs to feel like it, because that's what the white one did with less power. I want it, you know, it feels absolutely like an animal. So.
And because we got another car similar to this, lightweight, we're not going to show it yet because, like I said, everyone's going to hate me massively when I say what engine I'm going to fit
They're
in.
going to disagree and think it's a really bad idea.
Definitely, definitely.
Loads of people have guessed.
Well, I don't think it's a good idea as well, but worth trying. It's good fun. That's the fun of it, you know. Try it. If it's crap, then we know already what the older engine will fit, which we know that is going to be 100% winner.
But people have done that already. Whereas this is what you're doing is different.
It's going to be different.
Very different. Better than the standard engine.
Oh, definitely better than the standard because they got shit engines. What are they now? 60 brakes? No,
it's incredible. They seem to break. So,
exactly.
Or use a ton of oil.
Yeah.
So, well, that's the thing with this. Standard engines on these are good. They can be modified loads. You know, people get over the power and going for the Volvo from them.
Yes.
But the Volvo can be almost standard in making that power, and they cost pennies.
Yeah.
So people go, oh, why are you putting an old, you know, shitty old 8-power Volvo engine?
Yes. And you already find out that Volvo, they actually put a massive development into these cars, into those engines specifically.
You know, back in the days. Why am I doing it? Because they can make 670 brake on standard valve size. So who cares? Who needs 16 valve when the standard 8 valves can make 670, and the standard blocks can make over 1,000.
Yes.
I'm only going for fucking 400.
Yes.
But I would be if you built a 400 brake MX-5 engine, yeah, they can do it, but it's still quite stressed.
Plus, to be honest, we always say this. How many times we say that? If you look into the proper motorsport, you look into 80s, late 80s, 90s, but before 2000.
Yeah.
The golden era of motorsport, when people used to actually make stuff. People now are scared of 1.2, 1.3 barrel boost on Scanners, like you say, they started on 8, they're scared of it.
Yeah.
But back in the day, like 2.5 barrel boost, that was like, that's the
basics,
that's the road set.
That would be like long endurance racing at that point.
Exactly.
You know? Which is what I want. You know, I grew up, like my first cars were Renault 5 turbos, which were always like 2 bar was like the normal thing. You know, and then I went to like Cosworth straight away. And that again, 30 psi was like, if you're running less than that, it's like girls' boost sort of thing. So it's only when I got into Japanese cars, everyone's like, oh my god, 1.2 bar, that's so high boost.
Being crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy. It's like, no, that's really low. Yeah. So I want to get back to that kind of, you know, 2 bar plus, big torque, just crazy.
That's why I really like the idea of that old Volvo engine, especially when you told me about the development they've done on it. So that engine is not just an engine they put in a family car. It has been proper developed for motorsport and then obviously fitted in the saloon cars. But again, there you go. You just find out anti-lock system is just there, sitting and just sleeping, waiting to be waken up.
And that was, I don't think that was ever used on any car, but I kind of realised by looking at what the ECU done, it's just really a few things and you can activate it.
Exactly.
I mean, there is a few cars like that, but not many. But that's certainly never been done with Volvo.
I would never thought about Volvo doing that stuff. If you're talking about Cosworth engines and all that stuff, yes, absolutely, but not.
I presume it's by accident. I'm guessing it was just a coincidence, and but because I fucked about anti-lag stuff so many times, I kind of knew what to look for. And it's maybe a coincidence, I don't know, but suits me.
No, this is not the first time. You remember 1UZ engines? Toyota used to develop them for 24-hour.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then obviously they changed the regulations, so obviously they spend all this money in development and building these awesome engines. Yeah. Not gonna waste it. No. They've changed settings, they've changed some things, and obviously put them in the luxury cars.
Yeah. Well, it's like the you said about touring cars with that engine.
Yes.
The standard production manifolds and all the 740 and 940 turbos, just normal 170 horsepower family cars that have been everywhere. Those manifolds were the 240 Group A touring car Evo manifolds. Exactly. Not the original ones, but the evolution ones that they've developed for motorsport. They just happened to use them all afterwards on all the current cars. The same rail in manifold everything was actually a touring car one. And I didn't know that. No one seems to know that. I only found that out the other day by looking through the old FIA records, because I was a bit like, why is this manifold so good? Like, design. Why does it look so equal flow and whatever? It's a fucking touring car one, so yeah.
Exactly.
So...
And these people were not stupid back in the day. It wasn't the era of China trying to making the cheapest possible stuff.
Yeah,
They tried to actually develop stuff that works.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's why Volvo had a reputation of things lasting forever, because they built. It was overkill. It wasn't like the minimum they could do for the price and the power. They just built everything too good, if you know what I mean, for what they was doing. And that's why they go on forever. But that means tuning them. There's massive.
Shame they don't make them like this.
They're all front-wheel drive these days, aren't they?
No, exactly.
But yeah.
So yeah, this is gonna be crazy. More than crazy.
Looks like crap at the moment, but
It doesn't matter.
looks can be deceiving.
The beast is sleeping.
That's
It's not gonna be long now, is it?
Don't think so. I've got a spare engine and gearbox, so we'll do a trial fit
Yes.
ASAP. And once we know it's all in there, then we can just start swapping bits over.
Yeah.
I've got a spare gearbox, spare engine, spare everything, so we don't have to destroy that poor old Volvo in there just to make this work. We can do most of this before.
Prepare the chassis, engine mounts, gearbox mounts, the div, we can build the prop shaft and the power steering lines and everything, all the electrics, and then once we're ready, get our engine out of the car, sell the car for good money because that's good chassis, you say, good suspension, so you make it mega light. Exactly, so it handles very good, and then put it straight here, make it crazy. The only thing we have to do is to make some space in the workshop. So I get that dodgy van. What's that? What's that Vivaro doing there? It's like I don't understand. This is supposed to be motorsport garage, and there's a Vivaro there. So try to get that one out and get the job done. Obviously remove all this scrap, because now these days it's quite difficult because all the scrappers they closed. And then we actually do the same stuff on the small diesel engines. Equal flow plenum, good exhaust manifold, etc, etc. So yeah,
Watch the space.
yeah, it's gonna be good.